Okay, so we've already learned that there are two kinds of data in R. There's numbers like 3 and 4, and characters like my name or something like that. But there is a third type of variable in R, or data type in R, called logical. And those are represented in R by all caps words true or false. So if we just look, so you can get these values by simply typing in true or false, or by running what's called a logical test. For example, we can ask if a certain number is bigger than another one. So if 3 is bigger than 1, for example, the answer is true. Or if two numbers are equal to each other. So what can we do with this kind of data? We could use it in an actual data set, but we can also use it to make decisions. So in R, if you want to run a line of code if something else is true, then similar to when we were writing functions, we use the function if, braces around the statement we're going to test if it's true or false, and curly braces around the thing that will happen if it's true. This is similar to a function where we had round braces around arguments and curly braces around the function body. For example, we can do the same thing we just did. If 3 is greater than 1, we could write print it's greater. Run these lines. Sure enough, the words it's greater are printed. Now, the cool thing about these logical tests is that they can be variables. So instead of having 3 in there as a constant, I can put x and have x up here be defined as some other number, like 300, say. And we get the same result. So now we can run this over whatever we want. We could, for example, wrap it in a function, as we already learned. We can also run else statements. So if we have more than one possibility, we can ask R to print out do more than one thing. For example, we could write a function that would give us the sign of a number. So we could write if x is greater than 1, let's say greater than 0 then to get positive numbers, print, or rather even just return. Then if it's equal to 0, we want to have it return 0. So here in R we write else if. And finally we end an if statement. We end this with a simple else, with curly braces again. So notice that we begin with an if, end with an else, and in the middle is else if, indicating that the whole thing is going to continue until you get to the last else statement. We don't need a logical test before this last step because it is the complete cases of everything that hasn't been tested so far. So if we run this for x is 300, we should get, whoa, an error. And now we debug in front of everyone. All right. Well, let's try wrapping this in an actual function. There we go. So return works inside functions to return a calculation made inside the function. So sine 300 will give us 1. Sine 0 should give us 0. And sine negative 400, for example, should give us negative 1.